Hi guys, what's up? It's Unbiased Election Predictions here, and today I'm gonna make a video that I've been wanting to make for a while. But we're gonna talk about this right now. This is about, can a progressive defeat Donald Trump? And this is not 2024, not 2016. This is 2020. And I know Joe Biden is gonna be the nominee. Blah blah blah. Just disregard that for a while. So I'm gonna do a few scenarios, explain my reasoning behind each one. So yeah, let's get started with a Sanders versus Trump matchup. And for those of you who, I'm just characterizing the safe states. And for those of you who don't know, I am a progressive myself. And to make this video, I'm gonna have to put aside my viewpoints the viewpoints that I hold because because while I am a progressive and I really would love to see a progressive president one day, as of 2020, it does not look like that's going to happen. And if Bernie Sanders, got ahead of myself there. And if this is the scenario, I'm gonna have to disregard my emotions. I know there are a lot of people, and I know everyone says that they make their predictions off of facts and all that stuff, but I actually mean it because I have to put my feelings aside and realize that the outcome may not be what I want, but that's fine. So let's get started with the likely Sanders states. I don't think the Sanders would be super strong in New Mexico. He'd probably lose it or win it by a little less than Hillary Clinton won it in 2016. Still a blue state, nevertheless. Colorado is actually a pretty progressive state, so I would put it as likely for Sanders. Actually, I'm going to put it not Wyoming, that's for sure. I'm actually going to put it as safe for right now. But let's talk about. Oops, I forgot West Virginia. That's weird. And I forgot Hawaii. I'm forgetting a lot of stuff. So let's talk about all the other stuff. For Sanders, I would basically just have New Mexico as the one likely Sanders state. And I say Colorado and New Mexico are pretty similar states. Colorado is probably a teeny bit less blue than New Mexico, but that's fine. They're both going to be blue, so it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's just that Sanders, he won the Colorado primary twice, I believe, and he lost it twice. He lost New Mexico twice. Plus, he is decent with Latinos, but he's very strong with Colorado voters. So, yeah. And now, moving on to the likely Trump states, I'd probably still put Iowa there. They love moderate, anti-establishment people there. Sanders is anti-establishment, but he's not super moderate. I forgot to put Virginia in the list. I'm forgetting all stuff today, sorry. This is a likely blue state, no matter how you slice it. Now, I usually like to put Mississippi and South Carolina and Missouri as all likely red states. I'm not going to do that for Sanders matchup because I think Sanders is not great in Missouri. And he even in 2020, he had all the momentum. He did not do well with black voters. As for Texas, he'd probably lose Texas by a likely margin. I think all the Democrats would lose Texas by a likely margin if they really wanted to flip Texas or have a shot at it. They probably should have nominated Julio and Castro, but again, that I know for a fact it's not going to happen. So that's probably I'm going to sprint through these scenarios just so you know. So Trump 169, Sanders 222. New Hampshire would probably be lean. So I'm going to put it at likely just because it's in the Northeast. He killed Hillary Clinton there in 2016, and he came in first, but Pete Buttigieg did pretty well there as well. As for the lean Sanders states, Michigan would be a lean. I think Biden would outperform Sanders by 2 to 3% there, and that would be it for the lean Democratic states. And as for Trump, I was going to give him this by a likely margin, but I think that would be unfair to Sanders. But I could see it going likely. I'm just going to put it as likely because I think it would go red in 2020, and Sanders isn't worse than Biden in the South, that's for sure. Lean Republican states. Actually, I'm not going to put North Carolina there. So I'd put Florida as a lean Republican state. just because it is very, very. Sanders did not do well there in 2016. He did horribly there. That was because he had lost all his momentum, but he was going to lose there no matter what. But essentially, he has not a lot of Latino appeal to begin with. Now he's going to win the Latino vote if he is, or sorry, if he ran in 2020, he was going to win the Latino vote. But just like Joe Biden is weak with the young vote, he's still going to win it over Trump. Sanders is weak with the Latino vote. He'll still win it over Trump, but I think that he would actually probably lose the overall Latino vote in Florida, especially those who are Cuban immigrants, because he would get grilled on that by Trump, and he would honestly be pretty like. Again, to begin with, he's not great with Latino voters, so yeah. And second, I think that overall, Trump he made Hillary Clinton seem like a crooked lady who was the Wicked Witch of the West, when in reality she was this a very smart first female woman running for president. So I'm not going to go into praise, and I'm not going to praise Hillary Clinton for this whole video, but Donald Trump did a very good job of portraying Hillary Clinton like a crazy woman, and she's the opposite of that in my eyes now. He had different opinions than me, and I respect that. But like Sanders, he had his honeymoon in Russia. He is a self-identified, self-proclaimed democratic socialist, and he wrote books in the earlier in his earlier years that could be dug up, and I'm not going to go into huge detail about those. But yeah, so moving on to the state of Ohio. That would be likely lean for the Republicans. I think Sanders and Biden would do pretty similarly there. I just think that you would have lower Republican turnout. I'm sorry. I meant Democratic turnout under Biden in Ohio, because again, he won the primary, but I think Sanders. Oh no, sorry, I got all mixed up there. Sanders lost the primary in 2016. I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of something else. Sorry. So yeah, he loses that by like more. I'm all over the place today. And other Arizona would be lean. I mean, it's going to be close, but realistically, I mean, Bernie Sanders would lose Arizona. The polling had him behind there, and the polling, for whatever reason, doesn't favor the Democrats. So, yeah. Tilt, Bernie Sanders is probably the only candidate who could win Maine's second congressional district. He has the appeal there. He is pretty. He's from Vermont, which is he can go across the narrowest part of New Hampshire and just get them. He's from the northeast. I think he'd win there. Now, tilt Trump states. North Carolina would tilt towards the Trump campaign, for the reason that, again, Sanders is not great with black voters. Now, he'd win the black vote, but he would not increase turnout with African American voters as well as Joe Biden would, or a lot of other candidates. And for that reason, I mean, I already think that Joe Biden is probably going to lose. I know I'm flip-flopping on North Carolina, but I think that he has a decent shot of losing it. Sanders will probably lose it. If Biden can't win, then Sanders can't win either. And I think I'm actually being pretty generous, giving it to him by a tilt loss. So, Pennsylvania, yes, that is the backbreaker for Sanders, because I have him losing in that state by a tilt margin, which I know is some people are going to say that's harsh, but he's in favor of the Green New Deal, which Trump, it's not true, but Trump's would make that look like it's going to hurt coal miners. He'd probably lose in Pennsylvania. He'd probably lose in Nevada, and I know that sounds weird, but Donald Trump had a huge polling advantage there in 2016, and it's not all gone. Sure, he's definitely not the favorite in Nevada this time around, but he certainly is. He's certainly not going to not campaign there. I think he would exploit Sanders' weakness with Latinos, and he'd probably pull off a win. Now, the last time electoral votes are I believe that Wisconsin would be a toss-up. I'm just going to give it to Sanders by a tilt margin. because I think Michigan and Minnesota and Illinois all trying going for him will probably just get him a narrow win, but I can easily see it going to Trump because he could probably appeal to those voters um, almost as much as Sanders. And again, the Republicans they outperform expectations a lot more than the Democrats do. So I'm not underestimate Trump. I'm not going to say that he's going to lose Wisconsin, but overall, Wisconsin will probably stay blue. But I'm going to rate it as a toss-up overall, tilting towards Sanders again, but still. All right, so that's a Sanders versus Trump scenario. As you can see, I'm just going to clean this up, show you guys what it would look like for Sanders. Again, not would. I said that was arrogant of me, but what I think it would look like for a Sanders versus Trump matchup, and I'm disregarding the running mates. So again, it'll be maybe outcome could be different, but this is what I think it would be. Oops. Whoa. Okay. So that is it. So that's what the map would look like. That's my prediction for the Sanders versus Trump matchup would look like. Now we are going to clear the map, and we're going to do a Trump versus Warren scenario. And just so you guys know, Elizabeth Warren was my favorite candidate. I was rooting for her. I really thought that she was the best woman for the job. She didn't get the nomination though, and not New Hampshire. And I'm gonna have to deal with that. I can live with that. Nope, not wrong district. But so that's I think those would be the safe Warren states again, similar to Sanders. Forgot about New York. There we go. Trump would be safe, and I do think that Elizabeth Warren is in terms of beating Trump. I think she's a pretty weak candidate because she doesn't have appeal to a ton of voters. So I don't think that she'd be able to win. Yes, and I'm saying this like I love Elizabeth Warren. She's a very good senator, and I think she would have been a very good president. But unfortunately for me, she probably would not win a general election. So again, New Mexico and Colorado would be likely. I think Sanders he won the Colorado primary, so he'll probably carry over to him by a safe margin. Warren, not so much. She does not have as much Latino appeal as other Democrats do. Probably more than Sanders, but still not a good amount, or not a good enough amount to win here by safe margins. As for Minnesota, would probably go. Nope, didn't want to touch that. Virginia would be likely because it would be likely under anyone, and being from Massachusetts, probably New Hampshire would be likely. So yep, 216 electoral votes for Elizabeth Warren. Trump, similar to Bernie Sanders, I think these two states would be likely. Nebraska 02, that would be likely as well, just because again Warren does not have a ton of Rust Belt appeal. I wish I could say that she did, but that she does, but she does not. In Texas, she'd probably lose because all the Democrats are going to lose by a likely margin. Georgia, same reason that Sanders would probably lose. Does not have as much African American support as you would expect from her and from a Democrat. Now she's obviously going to carry that category, but still, certainly it's certainly something to watch. I mean, the Democrats, they need high youth turnout, and by the way, Elizabeth Warren would I think she'd energize the youth even more than Bernie Sanders, because I think that Bernie Sanders, people are overestimating how far to the left the youth vote is, and yes, Bernie Sanders he did very well with the youth vote, but I think that they are a little bit to the right of Sanders in terms of where they stand politically, which I think is similar to Elizabeth Warren. So I think that she'd do a little bit better with Sanders and with the youth vote, but again, both of them would do pretty well. And now for Warren, I am going to do the lean states. I think Minnesota would be lean. She has a little bit less Rust Belt appeal than Bernie Sanders does. So I think that would carry over to her. And yep, that's basically it. And now going over to the lean Trump states, I really do think that the North Carolina would lean to Trump, as would Florida, just because both these states are. They went for Trump in 2016, and Hillary Clinton was very good with minorities. Say what you want about Hillary Clinton, but she did very well with minorities, and I don't think that Elizabeth Warren could do any better. She lost Florida by a tilt margin, North Carolina by a lean margin, and NC would probably stay lean in Florida. Could go tilt, but I'm just gonna put it in lean right now. Warren, for her tilt states, I would give her Michigan and Maine second district for the reason that I gave it to Bernie Sanders. She's from Massachusetts. And second, I mean, even Al Gore and John. Well, I'm not going to say John Kerry, but John Kerry was a pretty weak candidate. He was from Massachusetts. He carried that. Al Gore carried it. Although Al Gore did, he lost in Massachusetts, in New Hampshire, which is interesting. But yeah, so Michigan, I think, it would just flip to the Democrats because it's a blue state, and if they not, and I think it would flip to any Democrat other than Kirsten Gillibrand and Hillary Clinton. Now, Nevada would be tilt Warren because it's certainly it's a weird case because I think that Nevada is could go to the Republicans with a Warren candidacy, but I think it would just stay Democratic because, again, Elizabeth Warren, I think, is a little bit better with the youth vote than Bernie Sanders is. She probably unites the party better than anyone does, and that would probably get her a victory in Nevada, which is a blue state now. And this is random, but I think that she is a very good. Her name is Klobuchar, are probably the best debaters of the pack that ran for president in 2020. So now going over to Wisconsin would just be tilt because it's Wisconsin. And then going over to the tilt Republican states, I think Pennsylvania would be tilting towards the Republicans, just because, first of all, Pennsylvania, Elizabeth Warren is not a super aggressive supporter of the Green New Deal, but she's kind of associated with that because she's a progressive. As for Arizona, again, she does not have enough. She would not drive up the Latino turnout enough to flip the state. Now, I'm gonna do so again, just so you can get the whoops. Oh my God, Nevada. I'm clicking everywhere today, just so you guys can get the full effect. Here you guys go. This is the map of what I think it would look like for a Warren versus Trump matchup. Again, I may be wrong, but I think it would look something like this. And again, I'm a progressive, so I'm not anti-progressive. I would really love to see a Warren presidency, but I think that's what it would look like. Why is there? It's Nebraska's second district. That's what it is. All right. So now I'm gonna do one more thing, and for those of you, I'm probably gonna get a Tulsi Gabbard comment or something like asking for a Tulsi Gabbard versus Donald Trump scenario. Tulsi Gabbard is not a real progressive. I say that with complete confidence because well, look at her legislative record. She literally she has worked hard to fight against gay marriage rights and generally LGBTQ rights, which I think is even the moderate Democrats, even some moderate Republicans like Susan Collins, they are pro LGBTQ rights. And then you have Tulsi Gabbard, who claims to be a progressive, who's fighting against that. So lastly, for a Markey versus Trump matchup, this is what I think it would look like. Now, I think Ed Markey is certainly a good candidate, but unfortunately, he would probably lose to Trump. I'm not going to do characterization of states, but I think that Ed Markey, being kind of an establishment Democrat, that would certainly not help him, and I think he would lose by something like this. Any questions, I'll be sure to clarify, but for those of you who are asking, who's a progressive who could beat Trump. And they're unfortunately right now, I think if the election were to be held today, AOC say AOC was 35, she'd probably lose to Trump. But who I think a progressive who I think will beat Trump, say it in the comment section below. Okay, so I'll give you 3 seconds to pause this video and say it in the comment section below. Who's a progressive who would beat Trump? 3, 2, 1. All right, so I'm going to fill in the map for this candidate and then do the margins after. So it's going to be in a weird order. Not Missouri. No, not Missouri. Certainly not Missouri. Just let you know. So this is how I think it would. I think it would be like this for this certain candidate who shall remain nameless as of right now. Whoops. Okay, so again, this is a 2020 matchup, and this candidate is old enough to run. So she could run in 2020, but she's not going to. So I think the map would look something like this, and then we'll do margins afterwards. So I think that the candidate to beat Trump, who's a progressive, would be Nina Turner. Now, Nina Turner is interesting because she's from the Midwest. She is a black woman from the Midwest, which I think is drives up turnout with minorities and locks down the Midwest. She's from Ohio, and that's why I'm giving it to the Democrats by tilt margin. I think that they'd win Minnesota and Illinois by safe margins. Arizona would be tilt. Nevada would be likely. So would New Mexico and Colorado. Actually, no. That would be tilt. And it would look overall something like this. Now, Nina Turner is in favor of the Green New Deal. I think her being from the Midwest and being the definition of driving up turnout would probably help her hold on to Pennsylvania. She wouldn't win in Maine's 2nd congressional district. So, unlike some of these other candidates, I think that she'd lose Maine's 2nd congressional district. But she could really make some of these states competitive. She'd probably lose Florida barely because she is a super progressive candidate. And progressives, they can win Florida. Maybe in 10 years, they'll be able to carry Florida. But Florida loves moderate Democrats like Bill Nelson, Joe Biden. So it would be hard for them as of right now to win in a state like Florida. So yes, I think that the map would look like for Nina Turner versus Donald Trump. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Please, if you could help me out by hitting the subscribe button, that would be much appreciated. If not, I guess that's fine. Yeah, thanks for watching, and see you all tomorrow. I do have something coming out soon, within a week, so that'll be interesting to see. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.